Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play of Heaven's Vault. Last episode, we were at the market moon of Renaki. We went and did some exploring around there, tried to find out something about the observatory from the one person there, but he wanted 6 from us in order to give us the information, which we had no intention of doing. That said, now, well, we were going to visit another site, but the episode was going so long that we decided to stop at Iox on the way, and it seems like Huang wants to talk to us. So let's go see what he wants to talk about, shall we? Also, I'm noticing the symbols here on Iox. I wonder what they mean. I don't think we've found that word yet. I'll keep my eyes out for it. And the library. He's waiting for us in there. Any guesses, 6? None, mistress. Aaliyah, you came. And how are you, Huang? Most well, thank you. Quite content. I've been reading, and I've come across something. It's not in my line, exactly. I'm happy with my books, but I thought it might intrigue you. Why are you whispering? No reason at all. Only, well, does that thing need to be here? You mean 6? Could it wait outside? Why? Imagine for a moment that I had a good reason. Dr. Huang does not wish me to hear what he has to say. Why do you care what 6 is? Humor me. Mistress, I will be outside. That's better. I don't suppose I can keep anything from the university, really, but there's no point making it easy for them. You're keeping something from the university? Like what? It's from a mention in the Annals of Mazwai. I know I'll never convince you to read it. There's a part where the chronicler talks of a monastery of questions. The Annals are generally considered to be reliable. I'm quite certain the monastery is a real place, but no one knows where it was. No one knew. You mean you found it? Not found it. Of course not. Only, I know you're not a looper, Aaliyah. You don't go to temple, except maybe for funerals. It makes no sense. The priests of the loop talk sometimes of a library, a place of great wisdom, a place where everything learned in one great year is held in trust for the next. It's the greatest treasure imaginable. The library of future knowledge. But you mentioned a monastery. You think your monastery is this library? I think it might be, yes. Surely the priests know where it is. Surely. You would think. But say they didn't. Then I'm certain they'd be looking for it. Do you know where it is, or not? I do. Maybe I do. In the Annals, Mazwai says the monastery sits within the Eye of Knowledge. I suppose I always thought that was a metaphor, but look here. In the margin, someone, a scribe, a monk, has scrawled a picture, like a swirl with a tail. The ancients often used eyes to mean places in the nebula, like the Eye of the Cyclones. I never made the connection before, but I suddenly realized. The swirl is a river. It's a map. A swirl with a tail? It's a shape in the rivers. The ancients built their library there, and then took that river shape to be a glyph in their script. The glyph that forms the word for knowledge. Ah. So, now we know the symbol for knowledge. Good. You really think so? Ancient books. Future books. Why didn't you want Six to hear this? It's the library of the Loop, Aaliyah, their most precious and hallowed site. Six would tell Myari, and they would move river and rock to find the library. But you want me to find it. I know you don't believe in the Loop, but say you found it. Say you read its books. Say you found yourself among those pages. You would have to believe them too. If I read a book from the past that described the present, if I read that, I might believe. Then go, and I will be here to talk about it with you when you come back. That's very generous of you. You're my friend, Aaliyah. I want you to be well, that's all. That's it. That's all I had to say. Interesting. Well, we can still do other things. Talk to Huang. Oh, Huang. I went to Renaki. I found that trader you mentioned. Oh, yes? Did it help? And I met a woman there who loves books. She dreams of visiting a library. What are you suggesting? Are there libraries anywhere but Iox? I don't know. After a fashion, perhaps. You think I can find this library? From a glyph? I don't know. But if anyone can, it'd be you. I was thinking. I've been finding some truly ancient sites. Places far out in the reaches that must have once been wealthy. Abandoned? Well, they seem that way. There's no one there now, anyway. Iox is old. They're always finding new layers to this place. Did you know that? Iox has been around forever. It probably all started here. What did? The Loop, of course. That's why everyone wants to be on Iox. This is where you need to be when the Loop closes. I found something Renba discovered near Elbereth. Oh, yes? It was a ship. Underground. Underground? How did it get there? I have no idea. I also don't know how he found it. Huang, do you think the robots know more than they say about the past? I'm sure they do. I think the robots can read ancient. Interesting thought. Another thing. You really believe in this library, Huang? It's a fact. Of course, I'd always hoped that it might be what this little place of mine could become, but I'm also glad it's out there. How are things down here? I've been researching loop text grammar. That's taking all my time. Alright. I uncovered a shredded book you might want to look at. Let's see now. There's a fragment of an inscription. I read it as past can be found. Yes, I think you're correct on past. Okay, good. I'm glad you agree. I uncovered something you might enjoy. Let's see now. There's an inscription. I read it as this book came through Nebula. You know, I'm sure you're right about came. So, I think maybe this could be related to previous? That or this? Thanks, Huang. And we can show him an artifact, too. I've got a few things for the curators. Glad to hear it. The etch charm, sure. Have you seen anything like this charm? Let me take a look. There's a compacted inscription. Yes, I recognize a word in there, but I don't know what it means. This one is several words. Ah! That one's a mysterious word. Oh, I'm sure my translation for high is correct now. And old must be right as well. Let's take another look at this. So place light and whatever that is. Sun? High. This is high. This is way. Previous. Reach high. Look there, at the tall stroke with the dot above. That might be a glyph for verticality or height, but that doesn't fit with reach. Okay. Rose! Sun rose high, high old. Place many water. Sea? Sun rose high, high old sea. Thanks, Wong. Interesting. I've seen something similar, I think, and it also had some script. Now where is it? Yes, this is it. Huang? This is the inscription found on a silver necklace. It was found drifting in Ioxian space. Fair number of words. This one is a fractured piece from an even longer phrase. Okay. We have give here. I give you... And we have opens. No. Wait a second. Heart. I think I see what it is. Another long one, but I'm confident it says give. This one must be my. It's kind of the same as I, except it has another dot and this, which means of. Of I. So yeah, my. This has to be my. I give you my heart. Do you have any more like that? Let me see. How about this? This was written on a golden amulet. It was found in a Renaki market months ago. I see the symbol for time. This is the start of a fragment of text. Yes, I see time, open, and for. Those aren't the symbols for open at all. Ah. Time for something. So if it's not open, it's live, and that's hold. Live and hold and heart. I'm gonna say this is love. We have rock and join. Joining rock. No, connecting rock. Make. Connecting rock, make. Make time for love? Does make time for love make sense? Do you have any more like that? Let me see. No, nothing comes to mind. The curators will be most interested in the charm, I'm sure. Take it then. Good faith to you. I'll be back shortly. Alright. Let me take a look. Solvable inscriptions. We have a few that can be fully solved. Oh. This one can be solved even though we don't have all these. Middle candle holder. We have here. We have I. We have will. I will never something. Okay, never and here are definitely words. I will never... Separate and go. Separate, go. That has to be leave. I will never leave here. Now that has to be it. Okay. We have another Book of Ancient Lives. Okay, we know that for certain. A Book of Ancient Lives. And we have Take Me Home. I kind of want to write down some of these ones that we actually know for certain. putting together some of these are nice. Yeah, I want to write down some of these things that we actually know the words of. Solved all, and then ones that are specifically related to things. At some point I should probably write down the ones that we know are specifically this is what it is, because we do have several of those. I'd need to look through them in order to find them, but that would be very useful. Okay, that shouldn't be like that. Yeah, we have all these unsolved ones that we don't know. It's one of the early ones. Was it... Well, anyway, enough of that. Let us leave. Mistress, there you are. Did you learn anything of use from Master Huang? Perhaps. We'd better take a look. Was Huang right, Six? Can you read ancient script? No, mistress. Obviously not. But why can't you read script? Evidently it is certainly true I am as old as most scripts we have found, but I remember nothing from before Master Renba activated me. I wonder if the knowledge of script is in there somewhere. I am sure I would know if that were true, mistress. I think perhaps the knowledge was erased before me and my kind were buried away. Oh, Renba's on his way back. Let's go see if Myari has anything to say. We can probably tell her about the ship. Aliyah. Nice view you have from here. Yes, it is. There are a few other trees on Iox, of course, but I would happily chop them all down if it kept this one going a little longer. You have more books than Huang. Those books are not his, nor are these ones mine. Interesting. Is there a copy of Mazwai here? Of course. You know Mazwai was a sailor and a scholar? Like me, you mean? Perhaps. Perhaps you'll write a book before the fall comes again, Aliyah. There was something I wanted to ask you. Janaki found a huge ship buried in the dust, much bigger than anything we can sail. A gigantic ship, that's what he found. Just the kind we will soon build, then. Aliyah? I spoke to an ancient voice from the Empire, Professor. It had been stored into a figurine and forgotten, but it was still alive. What did it tell you? She told me of a place called the Withering Palace. Did she? We have lost so much. Recordings like that were once common in the Empire. Recordings of important people. The Emperors believed in the loop, of course, but they still feared death. Everyone fears death. Death, Aliyah, and the fall. The Emperors knew it was coming, and they guarded what they could against it, stored whatever knowledge they could. You've found devices like this before? Of course we have. You travel with one. 6, to me, Professor. Slisset. Reangset. Sitsiang. 6? Can you hear me, 6? Silan Ang. The language it is speaking. Do you recognize it? You should. It's ancient. Renba discovered that robot cores can be accessed directly, verbally, if you know the right words, said Siang. It wants you to ask it a question. It sounds a lot like Elbereth Patoy. I knew it was old, but I'm only guessing here. Katkis? Katkis ihwa bo yekifis el. I'm only guessing here. Salehwa? Salehwa iya huameke re ari. Huameke? That's a pretty bad thing to call someone. But then, so is Salehwa. The Berethians really are talking in ancient. What is it talking about, Aliyah? Give me a moment. I remember a few words of Patoy, anyway. Huameke. Huameke aiya hua borenfar. Micus. Micus ikes bokeh. How is 6 talking ancient? I think all robots speak ancient internally, but Renba found a way in. A word. Malifar. It means fall. Mia, Malifar. Wetsal Malifar ori elboreth. Katiokis Malifar bo meke sibuar setseang. That's as far as I've managed to go. Aliyah, I need you to do better. Can all robots do this? I have no idea, Aliyah. But this isn't just any robot. 6 was Renba's, said Siang. 6 was Renba's actual robot, and you didn't tell me. When Renba disappeared, the robot was simply here. I wondered if it might help you find whatever Renba found. It still might, said Siang. And is there anything else you're not telling me? Most likely, Aliyah. But I don't spend my time worrying about what I have and haven't told you. Now please, get some sense from this machine if you can, said Siang. Malifar. Wetsal Malifar Mori Elbereth Katiokis Malifar Huekika. Mori is Elberethian Patoy. It means near. Maya Meke is a robot. Perhaps Meke is similar. It's waiting for an answer, I think. Katiokis. Katiokis Malifar bo Meke. Meke sisal wetsal. Meke bo ifa arali siobar hume nyaki kat. Humanyaki kat. Humanyaki kat I boyaki katya. Humanyaki is a Patoy word, Professor. It means essentially grow old and die, said Siang. Malifar. Wetsal Malifar Mori Elbereth Katiokis Malifar bo Meke siobar human manikat, said Siang. It loops this part. Katiokis? Katiokis Malifar bo Meke. Meke sisal wetsal Meke bo ifarali siobar huemeni kat. Ifarali. Ifarali ifar boti. Boti is, well, it's a mild curse on Elbereth. It means by the stars, said Xiang. Malifar. Mistress. Excuse the interruption, mistresses. 6, what were you just saying? Nothing, mistress. I do not like to prattle in front of my primary user, but something has come into my mind. A name. Humanayaki Kat. I will show you on the charts when we return to the Nightingale, mistress, but it is not far from here. What does the name mean? I lack data. Time to go, mistress. Not just yet. No, finish talking. I'm not going to tell her about the library. Good faith to you, Aaliyah. Well, that was interesting. I couldn't quite follow it, but I wonder where he's going to point us now. Renbel must have tried a word of Elberethian when working with 6, perhaps by chance. He was from Elbereth. Maybe he jabbed his thumb with a screwdriver and swore. It seems remarkable this had not been discovered before. Before we go, I want to give one more visit to this guy. See if maybe we can get more words from him. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I've made some nice discoveries out there. Oh, let's see them then. How about the chipped devotional icon? Take a look at this chipped devotional icon. No. I've seen something similar, if I remember right, only inscribed. Let me see now. Here. Yes? It's a picture of a copper sculpture of a narrow god. It was found buried here on Iox back in someone's supervisor's time. I've got one of these words in my notebook, but I'll have to take a stab at what's left. Okay, we know that this one is like knowledge, so this is no. Okay, if that line is and that is a cross, that means this is not. So we have what gods do not know is not. Is it what? I think that kind of makes sense. What gods do not know is not. What gods do not know is not. Do you have any more like that? Let me see. No, nothing comes to mind. Shall I archive the chip devotional icon? Yes, take it. Good faith to you. I'll be back shortly. Indeed, but I think we're about ready to leave. And we're also, in my opinion, at the end of this episode. Oh, hold on. 6, did Myari mean what she said about you? That you were Renbo's robot before? Is that true? I am unsure, mistress. I do not remember him. But it seems that my memories are not mine to control. Clearly. Yes, I think at some point off-screen I'll go through the various words we know and just write down the ones that we know this is what is. If we had a dictionary that we could easily access, that would be great, but unfortunately we don't. If Elbereth Patoy is spoken ancient, and the control words for robots sounds like Patoy, I suppose control words are an ancient. Alright, and here we're going to end this episode. Next episode, we'll see where he's going to point us, but we're probably going to head south again to that
spot that we were looking at before. That'll be in the next episode, so until then, I'm Chester44, that is Aaliyah and 6. This has been a Let's Play of Heaven's Vault, and I shall see you all next time.